Since bearish fair value gap yet. Bearish fair value gap here. I want to see it inverse. So we have that fair value gap here. We bounced out. We should inverse this gap. So aiming for these highs. Our stop loss would be right there. It's like we can move our stop loss 25% of the way at least. We zoom in here. So we could definitely move our stop loss. Stop loss. Reach 50%. That's the point where we need to get to move the stop loss. Okay, we just hit it. Stop loss is now reduced by half. See if we can get 75% of the way in profit. Whoa, we almost hit it. Strong buyers are stepping in now. 75. Now reverse stop. Like we might come up and or take profit. Take profit up here. At this point, we're risking $30 to make 120. Boom. There it is, boys. $118 win.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today's Friday, December 5th. And I took one trade this morning on the NASDAQ. So let's get over to the chart and take a look. All right, here we are on the 4-hour chart, and I marked this level. This is a higher time frame high. There's definitely liquidity resting above this high. So that's our draw on liquidity. I think that price wants to ultimately grind its way higher to take out that high. So that's what I'm looking for in the morning. Also, we're in a clear uptrend. We're creating higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low. So we're in an uptrend as well. So I want to trade with the trend. I don't want to trade against the trend. So also, if we jump over to the 1 hour, we can see that we're also in an uptrend on the 1 hour. We just took out this high here. Let me mark this. This high here, so far it's just a wick, but it still created that higher high. And then we have this low here. This low should be protected in this uptrend. More or less, we're just kind of bouncing around in this area. But prior to that, we were clearly in an uptrend. So we're just kind of consolidating. But it looks like we're starting to make progress to the upside. At this point, what I want to see is some form of manipulation down. So like this level being taken out. This move down, then this move up. This is a level, this is Asia's low. So if we can sweep that level, that would give me confidence to have the ability to go long. So let's zoom, fast forward a little bit. Alrighty. Right there, we sweep that level. We sweep Asia session, and we have strong buying coming in on this doji. So we're getting a nice reaction on that level. There we go. Fast forward some more. Okay, at this point here, this is market open. As soon as this line turns white, we're in market open. So 9:30 a.m. we just opened. We come up and we sweep London's high. We sweep this level of liquidity up here. But I'm not too worried about that being a reversal signal because that's also a good sign for the uptrend that we're in. We need higher highs and higher lows. At this point, this would be my low, this would be my high, this would be my higher low, and this would be my higher high. So what comes after that? A higher low. So that's what I'm looking for, is just some form of pullback so I can enter long. Super simple. Okay, so right here we have a market structure shift. Move up, move down. So we're in a 5-minute uptrend, as well as we have a change in the state of delivery, which would be this series of down close candles. As soon as we get price close above all of this gap here, and we inverse all these bearish fair value gaps, and we create bullish strong fair value gaps. So plus we take out this high. So market structure is starting to shift, and we're in a higher time frame uptrend, and then we're creating a new 1-hour high. So everything is pointing towards bullish this morning. So I'm not too worried about this liquidity sweep. I think it's going to rotate back down, but it's probably not going to come all the way down to this low. At least that's what I hope. So anyways, let's go ahead and mark this level. So this is my range. That low to that high. So anyways, let's fast forward a little bit. Okay, right there we tested equilibrium and we got some strong buying coming out of there. So this is when I zoomed down to the 1 minute. Oh, and also here's our bullish fair value gap. Let me turn this green. So here we have a bullish fair value gap on the 5-minute, as well as we just inversed all of these bearish fair value gaps. We have one here and we have one here. So we just inversed all of those. So that's another sign that market is shifting back to the upside. So I see this happen, and this is when I zoom down to the 1 minute. I actually entered right here this morning, and I was aiming for these highs, and then I put my stop at 1-to-1. We had an SMT divergence happen this morning, right here, SMT divergence. So that's more bullish. MES is more bearish. So this had a high and then it had a lower high. On NASDAQ, we had a high and then we had a higher high. So this was a more bullish pair in my eyes. So if I was going to go long, I wanted to go on NASDAQ. We enter here, and here is what I started to do. Starting yesterday, I came up with this idea and I want to test it. So as soon as we reach 25% of the way in profit, which we did right there, I'm going to shrink that risk by 25% as well. So now my risk is there. And then I bring this back up, and now I'm looking for it to tag 50% in profit. Right there. So there's 50% in profit. So at this point, I can move the stop loss another 25%. Okay, and just rinse and repeat. Every time we get 25% of the way in profit, I shrink that risk. So let's do it again. Okay, right there we got, oh, let me rewind. Right here we tapped 75% of the way in profit. So at this point, I am risking like $30 to make roughly 115. So that's pretty good risk to reward, and that's why I do this dynamic stop loss move. Keep in mind there will be times it comes down and stops you out, but one of the hardest things about trading is keeping your wins bigger than your losses. And this is a way for me to try and keep those losses small. If they're going to happen, and when they do happen, I want them to be small. So that way I have a nice equity curve. So let's press play. And as you can see, this thing came up and we won the trade. Let's hop over to TradeZella. So here's today, one trade, $117 win.